Buonasera tutti. As you know, it's just finished in the Champions League. Juventus 0, Real Madrid 3. Bad night for the Bianconeri. This man, Paolo Dybala, even sent off. We're joined here by Nick, who watched the game with us.
Hi, Dom. All right.
It wasn't a great night for Juventus, to put it politely, was it, in the end?
No, it could have gone better, couldn't it? And to see Juve play so well in the first half, even after going down to a very early Ronaldo goal.
3 minutes, yeah.
To see them come back in the way they did, miss quite a few chances, and then just to lose it in the way they did in the second half was really disappointing, wasn't it?
I mean, like I say, you're up against Real Madrid. Okay, a lot of people were talking about revenge from Cardiff last year. I mean, it wasn't revenge, but you're on your own ground. You've really got to make the home advantage count. And you concede after 3 minutes against Real Madrid on your own pitch. Ronaldo, of all people, gets the goal. You're just giving yourself a mountain to climb on your own turf. And you could see Juventus were chasing the game. And that's not the way they like to play. They like to dictate the play on their own pitch. But when you concede that early in the game, worst possible start, really, wasn't it, in the end?
It was, and 3 minutes against any team is bad enough, but 3 minutes against a team with the best player in the world,
Ronaldo,
and for that player to also score against you is it's going to be an uphill struggle, isn't it? How did you think the sort of second half went in terms of?
Well, I thought Juve, obviously, I said to you at half time, I said Juve have really got to come out and really stake a claim in this half. They've got to go for it. Of course, it then goes out the window. Dybala booked in the first half. Now, I did not think that was a penalty. I think he's dived there, Dybala.
Yeah.
And then he goes and puts his studs right in Carvajal's chest. They're then down to 10 men. Yeah. Game plan out the window, and I thought Real Madrid basically, it was like a training session for them. They picked off Juve, and it was 3-0. I thought it could have been 4 or 5 in the end when you consider, chances missed from Ronaldo, of course, missed one. I think it was the other one, I can't remember, was it Marcelo? Marcelo scored, I can't remember who the other player was. I think it might have been Isco, even Toni Kroos missed chances. It could have been 5 or 6-0 on their own turf, and that would have been beyond embarrassment.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed with the way Juve really let, especially the last 20 minutes slip. If you think how, they're still on home turf, okay, you're losing 3-0, but for God's sake, don't lose 5-6-0. Especially after that great performance against Spurs, if you think about it.
Yeah, the way they turned it round.
Yeah. I think they really, especially, I was really disappointed with Chiellini this game. I thought, considering the drubbing that they got in the final last time, you think Chiellini and maybe Barzagli especially
would have learned their lesson.
They had big points to prove, didn't they? And it didn't go well for them at all, did it?
Not at all. With hindsight, should Allegri, when Dybala was on the yellow card, should Allegri have possibly pulled him off, put Mandzukic or Cuadrado on then, and probably mixed up the formation a bit, but then they go down to 10 men and there's only one team and it wasn't there, and Madrid just annihilated them.
I suppose that the difficulty was Dybala was actually playing, although he'd been a bit stupid, a little bit careless.
Because he was making things happen.
He was making things happen, wasn't he? He was actually playing quite well. And I think also Allegri probably would have seen that because it was such a quick-paced game. Actually, you don't want to take someone like Dybala off, do you, to put on someone like Mandzukic, because otherwise you're going to have to start launching it in the air, looking to give him quite a few headers. So I'm not sure. I think it probably on reflection was the best thing to keep him on. But unfortunately, it's probably lost now, isn't it?
Well, he'll be missing from the second leg. They've got to somehow overturn a 3-goal lead at the Bernabeu, and we don't see many teams do that. And one other question I've got to ask you though as well is, that second goal from Cristiano Ronaldo, spectacular.
Yeah.
I think people are going to be talking about that for a while. Now, before the game, Buffon said no one can stop Ronaldo. Is that fair, or is it just a way of them saying that they basically couldn't do their job on the night? Because Ronaldo, we know how great he is, but did Juventus make it easy for him with hindsight from that performance?
I think at first no team should be conceding in the first 3 minutes, especially it doesn't really matter whether it's the best player in the world or a team as good as Real. I think you have to keep things tight, don't you? And we've made the point already, but you will be trying to sledge uphill against a team like Real Madrid. It is just not going to happen. So I think especially that first goal should have been stopped. Doesn't matter whether it's Ronaldo or anyone else. Second goal, fair enough, but I think at that point, Juve were leaving a lot of space at the back, weren't they?
Exposed several times, the pace with the likes of Isco or Marcelo running at the fullbacks.
Yeah.
It was coming, to put it politely.
Yeah, and it was almost like, let's be fair, okay, overhead kicks are an amazing part, amazing goals to score in the game, but the players who do them also have the time on the ball, don't they? Nobody actually went for that cross.
No, that did surprise me. You know,
Yeah.
no aerial trying to get a header and block the cross or anything.
No. Yeah.
So much time on that one. One thing I've got to ask, and then so going into the second leg, do you think the tie is over? You don't think there's any way back for Juventus?
I think that was fairly obvious by the body language of the players, to be honest. I mean, why would you play so badly in the last 20 minutes? I mean, they could have lost 4, 5, 6.
And it would have been a humiliation.
Yeah, and I think even by the end of the game, when the players were, you know, sort of shaking the hands of the Real Madrid players, I think they know it's over. So if the players think it's over from the signals they're putting out, I don't think we really have got much hope, have we, as fans of Italian football?
Well, I got to say, you know, I mean, we expect Barcelona to probably beat Roma. Well, you never know. I mean, upsets can happen.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think we all looked at Juventus and thought this was our chance for an Italian team to win this competition this year. And it looks as if it's as good as over. One question I've got to ask you, though. Do you think this was Massimo Allegri's last chance to win the Champions League for Juventus? Now, we know in the time he's been there, he's been successful. He's won Serie A and the Coppa Italia every season. They're at top of Serie A. They're in the final of the Coppa, so he can repeat that fate. But do you think this was his last chance to win it for Juventus? And if he goes, it's fair to say he won't be short of offers. You know, there's possibly Arsenal, maybe Chelsea if Conte goes. Do you think this was Allegri's last chance?
I do. I think, and that's not a bad reflection on Allegri, actually. I think he's probably overachieved over the years.
You think he's taken Juventus as far as he can?
What do you think about the amount of finals they've got to with Allegri when they weren't even really favourites to win those finals? So who was it? We're talking about
Barcelona, and then last year against Real Madrid.
So yeah, I think he's overachieved, to be honest. And he wasn't. They weren't favourites in either of those finals, were they?
They weren't. No.
No, they weren't.
I mean, okay, Barcelona we can accept at the time they were the greatest team in Europe. I think many of us thought last year against Real Madrid it was their chance to win it, and it looked like it. And then second half capitulation in the Welsh capital, and it's put pay to that. And it looks like it's the end of their hopes again this year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see Allegri staying more than 2 years, and I think he may. You know, the rumours today in the papers are that he may go to Chelsea. Okay, it's an easy association to make if you consider that Conte's probably on his way out.
Which is looking very likely, yeah.
But I'd be surprised if he stays more than 1 season, and maximum 2. And in that time, he's really got to tighten it up at the back if they want to make any more progress in Champions League in terms of actually going to the final, and maybe winning it. Because let's face it, the Spanish teams are still the teams to beat, aren't they?
Indeed, yeah. You know, Spain are dominating. We look at the last few years, so it's going to be hard to break that duck. Would you have them for the Azzurri?
Yep.
There you go. There's your answer. So there we go on a bad night for Juventus in the Champions League quarter-final. Thank you ever so much, Nick, for joining us. Benegas here. So tell us what you thought of tonight's game. Like, comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Talk Calcio TV. Give us a like on Facebook. Tomorrow we'll have our reaction then, of course. It is the Belgrano Barcelona against the Giallorossi Roma. Surely it'll be better than tonight. It can't be worse, can it? Tell us what you think. Arrivederci. Ciao.